أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
عما يتساءلون
What do they question one another about?
عن النبأ العظيم
About the mighty event
الذي هم فيه مختلفون
concerning which they differ.
كلا سيعلمون
Nay, soon they will come to know.
ثم كلا سيعلمون.
Nay, we say it again, they will soon come to know.
ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا
Have we not made the earth a bed,
والجبال أوتادا
and the mountains as pegs?
وخلقناكم أزواجا
And we have created you in pairs,
وجعلنا نومكم سباتا
and have made your sleep for rest,
وجعلنا الليل لباسا
and have made the night as a covering,
وجعلنا النهار معاشا
and have made the day for the pursuits of life,
وبنينا فوقكم سبعا شدادا
and we have built above you 7 strong ones,
وجعلنا سراجا وهاجا
and have made the sun a bright lamp,
وأنزلنا من المعصرات ماء ثجاجا
and we send down from the dripping clouds water pouring forth abundantly,
لنخرج به حبا ونباتا
that we may bring forth thereby grain and vegetation,
وجنات ألفافا
and gardens of luxuriant growth.
إن يوم الفصل كان ميقاتا
Surely the day of decision is an appointed time,
يوم ينفخ في الصور فتأتون أفواجا
the day when the trumpet will be blown, and you will come in large groups.
وفتحت السماء فكانت أبوابا
And the heaven shall be opened, and shall become all doors.
وسيرت الجبال فكانت سرابا
And the mountains shall be set in motion, and shall become as if they were a mirage.
إن جهنم كانت مرصادا
Surely hell lies in ambush
للطاغين مآبا
a resort for the rebellious.
لابثين فيها أحقابا
who will tarry therein for ages.
لا يذوقون فيها بردا ولا شرابا
They will taste therein neither coolness nor drink,
إلا حميما وغساقا
save boiling water and a stinking fluid intensely cold,
جزاء وفاقا
a meet requital.
إنهم كانوا لا يرجون حسابا
Verily, they feared not the reckoning,
وكذبوا بآياتنا كذابا
and rejected our signs totally.
وكل شيء أحصيناه كتابا
And everything have we recorded in a book.
فذوقوا فلن نزيدكم إلا عذابا
Taste ye therefore the punishment. We will give you no increase except in torment.
إن للمتقين مفازا
Verily, for the righteous is decreed a triumph,
حدائق وعنابا
walled gardens and grapevines,
وكواعب ترابا
and young maidens of equal age,
وكأسا دهاقا
and overflowing cups.
لا يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا كذابا
Therein they will hear no vain discourse, nor lying,
جزاء من ربك عطاء حسابا
a recompense from thy Lord, a gift amply sufficient.
رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما الرحمن لا يملكون منه خطابا
Lord of the heavens and the earth, and all that is between them, the gracious God, they shall not have the power to address him.
يوم يقوم الروح والملائكة صفا لا يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن وقال صوابا
On the day when the Spirit and the angels will stand in rows, they shall not speak, except he whom the gracious God will grant leave, and who will speak only what is right.
ذلك اليوم الحق فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه مآبا
That day is sure to come, so let him who will seek recourse unto his Lord.
إنا أنذرناكم عذابا قريبا يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه ويقول يقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا.
Verily, we have warned you of a punishment which is near at hand, a day when man will see what his hands have sent on before, and the disbeliever will say, would that I were mere dust.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
والنازعات غرقا.
By those who draw people to the true faith vigorously.
والناشطات نشطا.
And by those who tie their knots firmly.
والسابحات سبحا.
And by those who glide along swiftly.
فالسابقات سبقا.
Then they advance and greatly excel others.
فالمدبرات أمرا.
Then they administer affairs in an excellent manner.
يوم ترجف الراجفة.
This will be on the day when the quaking earth shall quake.
تتبعها الرادفة.
And a second quaking shall follow it.
قلوب يومئذ واجفة.
On that day hearts will tremble.
أبصارها خاشعة.
And their eyes will be cast down.
يقولون أئنا لمردودون في الحافرة.
They say, shall we really be restored to our former state?
أإذا كنا عظاما نخرة.
What? Even when we are rotten bones?
قالوا تلك إذا كرة خاسرة.
They say, then that indeed would be a losing return.
فإنما هي زجرة واحدة.
It will only be a single cry.
فإذا هم بالساهرة.
And behold, they will all come out in the open.
هل أتاك حديث موسى.
Has the story of Moses reached thee?
إذ ناداه ربه بالواد المقدس طوى.
When his Lord called him in the holy valley of Tur.
اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى.
And directed him, go thou to Pharaoh, he has rebelled.
فقل هل لك إلى أن تزكى.
And say to him, wouldst thou be purified?
وأهديك إلى ربك فتخشى.
And I will guide thee to thy Lord, so that thou mayest fear him.
فأراه الآية الكبرى.
So he showed him the great sign.
فكذب وعصى.
But he rejected him and disobeyed.
ثم أدبر يسعى.
Then he turned away from the truth, devising schemes.
فحشر فنادى.
And he gathered his people and proclaimed.
فقال أنا ربكم الأعلى.
Saying, I am your Lord, the Most High.
فأخذه الله نكال الآخرة والأولى.
So Allah seized him for the punishment of the hereafter and the present world.
إن في ذلك لعبرة لمن يخشى.
Therein surely is a lesson for him who fears his Lord.
أأنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها.
Are you harder to create, or the heaven that Allah has made?
رفع سمكها فسواها.
He has raised the height thereof, and has made it perfect.
وأغطش ليلها وأخرج ضحاها.
And He has made its night dark, and has brought forth the morn thereof.
والأرض بعد ذلك دحاها.
And the earth along with it He has spread forth.
أخرج منها ماءها ومرعاها.
He produced therefrom its water and its pasture.
والجبال أرساها.
And the mountains He made them firm.
متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم.
All this is a provision for you and for your cattle.
فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى.
But when the great calamity comes,
يوم يتذكر الإنسان ما سعى.
the day when man will call to mind all that he strove for,
وبرزت الجحيم لمن يرى.
and hell will be made manifest to him who sees.
فأما من طغى.
Then as for him who rebels,
وآثر الحياة الدنيا.
and prefers the life of this world,
فإن الجحيم هي المأوى.
the fire of hell shall surely be his abode.
وأما من خاف مقام ربه ونهى النفس عن الهوى.
But as for him who fears to stand before his Lord, and restrains his soul from evil desires,
فإن الجنة هي المأوى.
the garden shall surely be his abode.
يسألونك عن الساعة أيان مرساها.
They ask thee concerning the hour, when will it take place?
فيما أنت من ذكراها.
Wherein art thou concerned with the talk of its coming?
إلى ربك منتهاها.
The ultimate knowledge of it rests with thy Lord.
إنما أنت منذر من يخشاها.
Thou art only a warner unto him who fears it.
كأنهم يوم يرونها لم يلبثوا إلا عشية أو ضحاها.
On the day when they see it, it will be as if they had not tarried in the world, but an evening or a morn thereof.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
عبس وتولى
He frowned and turned aside
أن جاءه الأعمى
because there came to him the blind man.
وما يدريك لعله يزكى
And what would make thee know that he would purify himself,
أو يذكر فتنفعه الذكرى
or that he would take heed, and the taking of heed would benefit him?
أما من استغنى
How could it be that he who is disdainfully indifferent to the truth,
فأنت له تصدى
unto him thou shouldst pay attention?
وما عليك ألا يزكى
Thou art not responsible if he does not become purified.
وأما من جاءك يسعى
But he who comes to thee, hastening,
وهو يخشى
and he fears God,
فأنت عنه تلهى
him shouldst thou neglect.
كلا إنها تذكرة
That should not be. Surely it is a reminder.
فمن شاء ذكره
So let him who desires pay heed to it.
في صحف مكرمة
Contained in honored books,
مرفوعة مطهرة
exalted, purified,
بأيدي سفرة
in the hands of writers,
كرام بررة
noble and virtuous.
قتل الإنسان ما أكفره
Woe unto man! How ungrateful he is!
من أي شيء خلقه
Does he not consider from what thing did God create him?
من نطفة خلقه فقدره
From a sperm drop. He creates him and proportions him.
ثم السبيل يسره
Then he makes the way easy for him.
ثم ماته فأقبره
Then in due course he causes him to die and assigns a grave to him.
ثم إذا شاء أنشره
Then when he pleases, he will raise him up again.
كلا لما يقض ما أمره
Nay, he has not carried out what God commanded him to do.
فلينظر الإنسان إلى طعامه
Now let man look at his food.
أنا صببنا الماء صبا
How we pour down water in abundance.
ثم شققنا الأرض شقا
Then we cleave the earth a proper cleaving.
فأنبتنا فيها حبا
Then we caused to grow therein grain,
وعنبا وقضبا
and grapes and vegetables,
وزيتونا ونخلا
and the olive and the date palm,
وحدائق غلبا
and walled gardens thickly planted,
وفاكهة وأبا
and fruits and herbage,
متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم
a provision for you and your cattle.
فإذا جاءت الصاخة
But when the deafening shout comes,
يوم يفر المرء من أخيه
on the day when a man will flee from his brother,
وأمه وأبيه
and from his mother and his father,
وصاحبته وبنيه
and from his wife and his sons.
لكل امرئ منهم يومئذ شان يغنيه.
Every man among them that day will have concern enough of his own to make him indifferent to others.
وجوه يومئذ مسفرة
On that day some faces will be bright,
ضاحكة مستبشرة
laughing, joyous,
ووجوه يومئذ عليها غبرة
and some faces on that day will have dust upon them,
ترحقها قترة
darkness covering them.
أولئك هم الكفرة الفجرة.
Those will be the disbelievers, the doers of evil.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
إذا الشمس كورت
When the sun is folded up,
وإذا النجوم كدرت
and when the stars are obscured,
وإذا الجبال سيرت
and when the mountains are made to move,
وإذا العشار عطلت
and when the she-camels 10-month pregnant are abandoned,
وإذا الوحوش حشرت
and when the wild beasts are gathered together,
وإذا البحار سجرت
and when the rivers are drained away,
وإذا النفوس زوجت
and when various people are brought together,
وإذا الموءودة سئلت
and when the female infant, buried alive, is questioned about,
بأي ذنب قتلت
for what crime was she killed,
وإذا الصحف نشرت
and when books are spread abroad,
وإذا السماء كشطت
and when the heaven is laid bare,
وإذا الجحيم سعرت
and when hellfire is set ablaze,
وإذا الجنة أزلفت
and when paradise is brought nigh.
علمت نفس ما أحضرت
Then every soul will know what it has produced.
فلا أقسم بالخنس
Nay, I call to witness those that recede while advancing,
الجوار الكنس
rush ahead and then hide,
والليل إذا عسعس
and I call to witness the night as it draws to a close,
والصبح إذا تنفس
and the dawn as it begins to breathe.
إنه لقول رسول كريم
That this is surely the word revealed to a noble messenger,
ذي قوة عند ذي العرش مكين
possessor of strength, established in the presence of the Lord of the throne,
مطاع ثم أمين
entitled to obedience and faithful to his trust.
وما صاحبكم بمجنون
And your companion is not mad,
ولقد راه بالأفق المبين
and he assuredly saw him on the clear horizon,
وما هو على الغيب بضنين
and he is not niggardly with respect to the unseen,
وما هو بقول شيطان رجيم
nor is this the word of Satan, the rejected.
فأين تذهبون
Whither then are you going?
إن هو إلا ذكر للعالمين
It is nothing but a reminder unto all the worlds,
لمن شاء منكم أن يستقيم
unto such among you as desire to go straight.
وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله رب العالمين
And you desire not a thing, except that Allah, the Lord of the worlds, desires it.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
إذا السماء فطرت
When the heaven is cleft asunder,
وإذا الكواكب انتثرت
and when the stars are scattered,
وإذا البحار فجرت
and when the oceans are made to flow forth and join together,
وإذا القبور بعثرت
and when the graves are laid open,
علمت نفس ما قدمت وأخرت
every soul shall then know what it has sent forth and what it has kept back.
يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم
O man, what has deceived thee concerning thy gracious Lord?
الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك
Who created thee, then perfected thee, then proportioned thee aright.
في أي صورة ما شاء ركبك
In whatever form he pleased, he fashioned thee.
كلا بل تكذبون بالدين
Nay, but you deny the judgment.
وإن عليكم لحافظين
Surely, there are guardians over you,
كراما كاتبين
noble recorders,
يعلمون ما تفعلون
who know all that you do.
إن الأبرار لفي نعيم
Verily the virtuous will be in bliss,
وإن الفجار لفي جحيم
and the wicked will be in hell.
يصلونها يوم الدين
They will burn therein on the day of judgment,
وما هم عنها بغائبين
and they will not be able to escape therefrom.
وما أدراك ما يوم الدين
And what should make thee know what the day of judgment is?
ثم ما أدراك ما يوم الدين
Again, what should make thee know what the day of judgment is?
يوم لا تملك نفس لنفس شيئا والأمر يومئذ لله
The day when a soul shall have no power to do aught for another soul, and the command on that day will be Allah's.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
ويل للمطففين
Woe unto those who give short measure,
الذين إذا اكتالوا على الناس يستوفون
those who, when they take by measure from other people, take it full,
وإذا كالوهم أو وزنوهم يخسرون
but when they give by measure to others or weigh to them, they give them less.
ألا يظن أولئك أنهم مبعوثون
Do not such people know that they will be raised again
ليوم عظيم
to witness the judgment of a mighty day,
يوم يقوم الناس لرب العالمين
the day when mankind will stand before the Lord of the worlds.
كلا إن كتاب الفجار لفي سجين
Nay, The record of the wicked is in Sijjin.
وما أدراك ما سجين
And what should make thee know what Sijjin is?
كتاب مرقوم
It is a written book since eternity.
ويل يومئذ للمكذبين
Woe on that day unto those who reject,
الذين يكذبون بيوم الدين
who deny the day of judgment.
وما يكذب به إلا كل معتد أثيم
And none denies it, save every sinful transgressor.
إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين
Who, when our signs are recited unto him, says, Tales of the ancient.
كلا بل ران على قلوبهم ما كانوا يكسبون
Nay, but that which they have earned is rust upon their hearts.
كلا إنهم عن ربهم يومئذ لمحجوبون
Nay, they will, surely, be debarred from seeing their Lord on that day.
ثم إنهم لصال الجحيم
Then verily they will burn in hell.
ثم يقال هذا الذي كنتم به تكذبون
Then it will be said to them, This is what you used to reject.
كلا إن كتاب الأبرار لفي عليين
Nay, but the record of the righteous is surely in Iliyin.
وما أدراك ما عليون
And what should make thee know what Iliyin is?
كتاب مرقوم
It is a written book.
يشهده المقربون
The chosen ones of God will witness it.
إن الأبرار لفي نعيم
Surely the righteous will be in bliss,
على الأرائك ينظرون
seated on couches, looking at everything.
تعرف في وجوههم نظرة النعيم
Thou wilt find in their faces the freshness of bliss.
يسقون من رحيق مختوم
They will be given to drink of a pure beverage sealed.
ختامه مسك وفي ذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون
The sealing of it will be with musk. For this, let the aspirants aspire.
ومزاجه من تسنيم
And it will be tempered with the water of tasneem,
عينا يشرب بها المقربون
a spring of which the chosen ones, will drink.
إن الذين أجرموا كانوا من الذين آمنوا يضحكون.
Those who were guilty used to laugh at those who believed.
وإذا مروا بهم يتغامزون.
And when they passed by them, they winked at one another.
وإذا انقلبوا إلى أهلهم انقلبوا فاكهين.
And when they returned to their families, they returned exulting.
وإذا رأوهم قالوا إن هؤلاء لضالون.
And when they saw them, they said, "These, indeed, have gone astray."
وما أرسلوا عليهم حافظين.
But they were not sent as keepers over them.
فاليوم الذين آمنوا من الكفار يضحكون.
This day, then, it is the believers who will laugh at the disbelievers.
على الأرائك ينظرون.
Seated on couches, gazing around.
هل ثوب الكفار ما كانوا يفعلون.
They will say to one another, "Are not the disbelievers fully requited for what they used to do?"
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
إذا السماء انشقت.
When the heaven bursts asunder,
وأذنت لربها وحقت.
and hearkens unto her Lord, and this is incumbent upon her.
وإذا الأرض مدت.
And when the earth is spread out,
وألقت ما فيها وتخلت.
and casts out all that is in her, and appears to become empty.
وأذنت لربها وحقت.
And hearkens unto her Lord, and this is incumbent upon her.
يا أيها الإنسان إنك كادح إلى ربك كدحا فملاقيه.
Verily, thou, O man, art toiling along towards thy Lord, a hard toiling, until thou meet him.
فأما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه.
Then as for him who is given his record in his right hand,
فسوف يحاسب حسابا يسيرا.
he will surely have an easy reckoning,
وينقلب إلى أهله مسرورا.
and he will return to his family, rejoicing.
وأما من أوتي كتابه وراء ظهره.
But as for him who will have his record given to him behind his back,
فسوف يدعو ثبورا
He will soon call for destruction,
ويصلى سعيرا
and he will burn in a blazing fire.
إنه كان في أهله مسرورا
Verily, before this he used to pass his time joyfully among his people.
إنه ظن أن لن يحور
He indeed thought that he would never return to God.
بلى إن ربه كان به بصيرا
Yea, surely, his Lord was ever watchful of him.
فلا أقسم بالشفق
But nay, I call to witness the glow of sunset,
والليل وما وسق
and the night and all that it envelops,
والقمر إذا اتسق
and the moon when it becomes full.
لتركبن طبقا عن طبق
That you shall, assuredly, pass on from one stage to another.
فما لهم لا يؤمنون
So what is the matter with them, that they believe not?
وإذا قرئ عليهم القرآن لا يسجدون
And when the Quran is recited unto them, they do not bow in submission.
بل الذين كفروا يكذبون
On the contrary, those who disbelieve reject it.
والله أعلم بما يوعون
And Allah knows best what they keep hidden in their hearts.
فبشرهم بعذاب أليم
So give them tidings of a painful punishment.
إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم أجر غير ممنون
But as to those who believe and do good works, theirs is an unending reward.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
والسماء ذات البروج
By the heaven having mansions of stars,
واليوم الموعود
and the promised day,
وشاهد ومشهود
and the witness, and he to whom witness is borne.
قتل أصحاب الأخدود
Cursed be the fellows of the trench,
النار ذات الوقود
the fire fed with fuel,
إذ هم عليها قود
when they sat by it,
وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود
and they were the witnesses of what they did to the believers.
وما نقموا منهم إلا أن
And they hated them not, but only because they believed in Allah, the Almighty, the Praiseworthy.
الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء شهيد.
To whom belongs the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, and Allah is witness over all things.
إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا فلهم عذاب جهنم ولهم عذاب الحريق.
Those who persecute the believing men and the believing women, and then repent not, for them is surely the punishment of hell, and for them is the torment of heart-burning.
إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ذلك الفوز الكبير.
But those who believe and do good works, for them are gardens through which streams flow. That is indeed the supreme achievement.
إن بطش ربك لشديد.
Surely the seizing of thy Lord is severe.
إنه هو يبدئ ويعيد.
He it is who originates and reproduces.
وهو الغفور الودود.
And he is the most forgiving, the loving.
ذو العرش المجيد.
The Lord of the throne, the Lord of honor.
فعال لما يريد.
Doer of what he wills.
هل أتاك حديث الجنود.
Has not the story of the hosts come to thee?
فرعون وثمود.
Of Pharaoh and Thamud.
بل الذين كفروا في تكذيب.
Nay, but those who disbelieve persist in rejecting the truth.
والله من ورائهم محيط.
And Allah encompasses them from before them and from behind them.
بل هو قرآن مجيد.
Nay, but it is a glorious Quran.
في لوح محفوظ.
In a well-guarded tablet.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
والسماء والطارق.
By the heaven and the morning star.
وما أدراك ما الطارق.
And what should make thee know what the morning star is?
النجم الثاقب.
It is the star of piercing brightness.
إن كل نفس لما عليها حافظ.
There is not a soul, but has a guardian over it.
فلينظر الإنسان مما خلق.
So let man consider of what he is created.
خلق من ماء دافق.
He is created of gushing fluid,
يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب.
which issues forth from between the loins and the breastbones.
إنه على رجعه لقادر.
Surely Allah has the power to bring him back to life.
يوم تبلى السرائر.
On the day when secrets shall be disclosed.
فما له من قوة ولا ناصر.
And he shall have no strength and no helper.
والسماء ذات الرجع.
By the cloud which gives rain repeatedly.
والأرض ذات الصدع.
And by the earth which opens out with herbage.
إنه لقول فصل.
Surely the Quran is a decisive word.
وما هو بالهزل.
And it is not a vain talk.
إنهم يكيدون كيدا.
Surely they plan a plan.
وأكيد كيدا.
And I also plan a plan.
فمهل الكافرين أمهلهم رويدا.
So give respite to the disbelievers. I respite them for a little while.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
سبح اسم ربك الأعلى.
Glorify the name of thy Lord, the Most High,
الذي خلق فسوى.
who creates man and perfects him,
والذي قدر فهدى.
and who determines his capacities and furnishes him with appropriate guidance,
والذي أخرج المرعى.
and who brings forth the pasturage,
فجعله غثاء أحوى.
then turns it into black stubble.
سنقرئك فلا تنسى.
We shall teach thee the Quran, and thou shalt not forget it,
إلا ما شاء الله. إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى.
except as what Allah wills. Surely He knows what is manifest and what is hidden.
ونيسرك لليسرى.
And we shall provide thee with every facility.
فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى.
So keep on admonishing people. Surely admonition is indeed profitable.
سيذكر من يخشى
He who fears will heed,
ويتجنبها الأشقى
but the most wretched will turn aside from it.
الذي يصلى النار الكبرى
He who will enter the great fire,
ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا
then he will neither die therein nor live.
قد أفلح من تزكى
Verily he indeed will prosper who purifies himself,
وذكر اسم ربه فصلى
and remembers the name of his Lord and offers prayers.
بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا
But you prefer the life of this world,
والآخرة خير وأبقى
whereas the hereafter is better and more lasting.
إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى
This indeed is what is taught in the former scriptures,
صحف إبراهيم وموسى
the scriptures of Abraham and Moses.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
هل أتاك حديث الغاشية
Has there come to thee the news of the overwhelming calamity?
وجوه يومئذ خاشعة
Some faces on that day will be downcast,
عاملة ناصبة
toiling, weary.
تصلى نارا حامية
They shall enter a blazing fire,
تسقى من عين آنية
and will be made to drink from a boiling spring.
ليس لهم طعام إلا من ضريع
They will have no food save that of dry, bitter, and thorny herbage,
لا يسمن ولا يغني من جوع
which will neither nourish nor satisfy hunger.
وجوه يومئذ ناعمة
And some faces on that day will be joyful,
لسعيها راضية
well pleased with their past striving,
في جنة عالية
in a lofty garden,
لا تسمع فيها لاغية
wherein thou wilt hear no vain talk.
فيها عين جارية
Therein is a running spring,
فيها سرر مرفوعة
therein are raised couches,
وأكواب موضوعة
and goblets properly placed,
ونمارق مصفوفة
and cushions beautifully ranged in rows,
وزرابي مبثوثة
and carpets tastefully spread.
أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت
Do they not then look at the camels, how they are created,
وإلى السماء كيف رفعت
and at the heaven, how it is raised high,
وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت
and at the mountains, how they are fixed,
وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت
and at the earth, how it is spread out.
فذكر إنما أنت مذكر
Admonish, therefore, for thou art but an admonisher.
لست عليهم بمسيطر
Thou art not appointed a keeper over them,
إلا من تولى وكفر
but whoever turns away and disbelieves,
فيعذبه الله العذاب الأكبر
Allah will punish him with the greatest punishment.
إن إلينا إيابهم
Unto us, surely, is their return.
ثم إن علينا حسابهم
Then surely it is for us to call them to account.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
والفجر وليال عشر
By the dawn and the 10 nights,
والشفع والوتر
and the even and the odd,
والليل إذا يسر
and the night when it moves on to its close.
هل في ذلك قسم لذي حجر
Is there not in it strong evidence for one possessed of understanding?
ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بعاد
Hast thou not seen how thy Lord dealt with Ad,
إرم ذات العماد
the tribe of Iram, possessors of lofty buildings,
التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد
the like of whom have not been created in these parts,
وثمود الذين جابوا الصخر بالواد
and with Thamud, who hewed out rocks in the valley,
وفرعون ذي الأوتاد
and with Pharaoh, lord of vast hosts,
الذين طغوا في البلاد
who committed excesses in the cities,
فأكثروا فيها الفساد
and wrought much corruption therein.
فصب عليهم ربك سوط عذاب
Thy Lord then let loose on them the scourge of punishment.
إن ربك لبالمرصاد
Surely thy Lord is ever on the watch.
فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه فأكرمه ونعمه فيقول ربي أكرمن.
And as for man, when his Lord tries him and honors him and bestows favors on him, he says, My Lord has honored me.
وأما إذا ما ابتلاه فقدر عليه رزقه فيقول ربي أهانن.
But when he tries and straightens for him his means of subsistence, he says, My Lord has disgraced me.
كلا بل لا تكرمون اليتيم.
Nay, but you honor not the orphan,
ولا تحاضون على طعام المسكين.
and urge not one another to feed the poor,
وتأكلون التراث أكلا لما.
and devour the heritage of other people, devouring greedily and wholly,
وتحبون المال حبا جما.
and you love wealth with exceeding love.
كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا.
Hearken, when the earth is completely broken into pieces,
وجاء ربك والملك صفا صفا.
and thy Lord comes attended by the angels, rank on rank.
وجيء يومئذ بجهنم يومئذ يتذكر الإنسان وأنى له الذكرى.
And hell is brought near that day. On that day man will remember, but of what avail shall that remembrance be to him?
يقول يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي.
He will say, Oh, would that I had not sent on some good works for my life here.
فيومئذ لا يعذب عذابه أحد.
So on that day none can punish like unto his punishment,
ولا يوثق وثاقه أحد.
and none can bind like unto his binding.
يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة.
O thou soul at peace,
ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية.
return to thy Lord, thou well pleased with him, and he well pleased with thee.
فادخلي في عبادي.
So enter thou among my chosen servants,
وادخلي جنتي.
and enter thou my garden.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
لا أقسم بهذا البلد.
Nay, I cite as witness this city,
وأنت حل بهذا البلد
and affirm that thou wilt surely alight in this city,
ووالد وما ولد
and I cite as witness the Father and the Son.
لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد
We have surely created man to toil and struggle.
أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد
Does he think that no one has power over him?
يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا
He says, I have wasted enormous wealth.
أيحسب أن لم يره أحد
Does he think that no one sees him?
ألم نجعل له عينين
Have we not given him 2 eyes,
ولسانا وشفتين
and a tongue and 2 lips,
وهديناه النجدين
and we have pointed out to him the 2 highways of good and evil?
فلاقتحم العقبة
But he attempted not the steep ascent.
وما أدراك ما العقبة
And what should make thee know what the steep ascent is?
فك رقبة
It is the freeing of a slave,
أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة
or feeding on a day of hunger,
يتيما ذا مقربة
an orphan near of kin,
أو مسكينا ذا متربة
or a poor man lying in the dust.
ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة.
Then he should have been of those who believe and exhort one another to perseverance and exhort one another to mercy.
أولئك أصحاب الميمنة
These are the people of the right hand,
والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة.
but those who reject our signs, they are the people of the left hand.
عليهم نار مؤصدة
On them will be fire, closed over.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
والشمس وضحاها
By the sun and its brightness,
والقمر إذا تلاها
and by the moon when it follows the sun,
والنهار إذا جلاها
and by the day when it reveals the sun's glory,
والليل إذا يغشاها
and by the night when it draws a veil over the light of the sun,
والسماء وما بناها
and by the heaven and its wonderful structure,
والأرض وما طحاها
and by the earth and its expanse,
ونفس وما سواها
and by the soul and its perfection,
فألهمها فجورها وتقواها
and he revealed to it the ways of evil and the ways of righteousness.
قد أفلح من زكاها
He indeed prospers who purifies it,
وقد خاب من دساها
and he is ruined who corrupts it.
كذبت ثمود بطغواها
The tribe of Thamud rejected the divine messenger because of their rebelliousness,
إذ انبعث أشقاها
when the most wretched among them got up,
فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها
Then the messenger of Allah said, "Leave alone the she-camel of Allah and obstruct not her drink."
فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها
But they called him a liar and hamstrung her. So their Lord destroyed them completely because of their sin, and made destruction overtake all of them alike.
ولا يخاف عقباها
And he cared not for the consequences thereof.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
والليل إذا يغشى
By the night when it covers up,
والنهار إذا تجلى
and by the day when it shines forth,
وما خلق الذكر والأنثى
and by the creation of the male and the female.
إن سعيكم لشتى
Surely your strivings are diverse.
فأما من أعطى واتقى
Then as for him who gives for the cause of Allah and is righteous,
وصدق بالحسنى
and testifies to the truth of what is right,
فسنيسره لليسرى
we will provide for him every facility for good.
وأما من بخل واستغنى
But as for him who is niggardly and is disdainfully indifferent,
وكذب بالحسنى
and rejects what is right,
فسنيسره للعسرى
we will make easy for him the path to distress.
وما يغني عنه ماله إذا تردى
And his wealth shall not avail him when he perishes.
إن علينا للهدى
Surely it is for us to guide.
وَإِنَّ لَنَا لَلْآخِرَةَ وَالْأُولَى.
And to us belongs the hereafter as well as the present world.
فَأَنذَرْتُكُمْ نَارًا تَلَظَّى.
So I warn you of a blazing fire.
لا يصلاها إلا الأشقى.
None shall enter it but the most wicked one,
الذي كذب وتولى.
who rejects the truth and turns his back on it.
وسيجنبها الأتقى.
But the righteous one shall be kept away from it,
الذي يؤتي ماله يتزكى.
who gives his wealth that he may be purified.
وما لأحد عنده من نعمة تجزى.
And not because he owes a favor to anyone, which is to be repaid,
إلا ابتغاء وجه ربه الأعلى.
but solely to seek the pleasure of his Lord, the Most High.
ولسوف يرضى.
Surely will he be well pleased with him.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
والضحى.
By the brightness of the forenoon,
والليل إذا سجى.
and by the night when its darkness spreads out.
ما ودعك ربك وما قلى.
Thy Lord has not forsaken thee, nor is he displeased with thee.
وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى.
Surely thy latter state is better for thee than the former.
ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى.
And thy Lord will soon give thee, and thou wilt be well pleased.
ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى.
Did he not find thee an orphan, and take thee under his care,
ووجدك ضالا فهدى.
and found thee lost in love for thy people, and provided thee with guidance for them,
ووجدك عائلا فأغنى.
and found thee in want, and enriched thee.
فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر.
So the orphan oppress not,
وأما السائل فلا تنهر.
and him who seeks thy help chide not.
وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث.
And the bounty of thy Lord proclaim.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
ألم نشرح لك صدرك
Have we not opened for thee thy bosom,
ووضعنا عنك وزرك
and removed from thee thy burden,
الذي أنقض ظهرك
which had well nigh broken thy back,
ورفعنا لك ذكرك
and we have exalted thy name,
فإن مع العسر يسرا
surely there is ease after hardship.
إن مع العسر يسرا
Aye, surely there is ease after hardship.
فإذا فرغت فانصب
So when thou art free from thy immediate task, strive hard,
وإلى ربك فارغب
and to thy Lord do thou turn with full attention.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
والتين والزيتون
By the fig and the olive,
وطور سينين
and Mount Sinai,
وهذا البلد الأمين
and this town of security.
لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم
Surely we have created man in the best make,
ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين
then, if he does evil deeds, we degrade him as the lowest of the low,
إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون
save those who believe and do good works. So for them is an unfailing reward.
فما يكذبك بعد بالدين
Then what is there to give the lie to thee after this with regard to the judgment?
أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين
Is not Allah the most just of judges?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق
Proclaim thou in the name of thy Lord who created.
خلق الإنسان من علق
Created man from a clot of blood.
اقرأ وربك الأكرم
Proclaim, and thy Lord is the most bounteous,
الذي علم بالقلم
who taught by the pen,
علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم
taught man what he knew not.
كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى
Nay, man indeed transgresses,
أن رآه استغنى
because he thinks himself to be independent.
إن إلى ربك الرجعى
Surely, unto thy Lord is the return.
أرأيت الذي ينهى
Hast thou seen him who forbids?
عبدا إذا صلى
A servant of ours when he prays?
أرأيت إن كان على الهدى
Tell me, if our servant follows the guidance,
أو أمر بالتقوى
or enjoins righteousness,
أرأيت إن كذب وتولى
and tell me, if the forbidder rejects the truth and turns his back on it, how shall he fare?
ألم يعلم بأن الله يرى
Does he not know that Allah sees all?
كلا لئن لم ينته لنسفعا بالناصية
Nay, if he desist not, we will assuredly seize and drag him by the forelock,
ناصية كاذبة خاطية
a forelock lying sinful.
فليدع ناديه
Then let him call his associates.
سندع الزبانية
We too will call our angels of punishment.
كلا لا تطعه واسجد واقترب
Nay, yield not thou to him, but prostrate thyself, and draw near to Allah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر
Surely, we sent it down during the night of decree.
وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر
And what shall make thee know what the night of decree is?
ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر
The night of decree is better than 1,000 months.
تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر
Therein descend angels and the Spirit by the command of their Lord with divine decree concerning every matter.
سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر
It is all peace till the rising of the dawn.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
لم يكن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين منفكين حتى تأتيهم البينة.
Those who disbelieve from among the people of the book and the idolaters would not desist from disbelief until there should come to them the clear evidence.
رسول من الله يتلو صحفا مطهرة.
A messenger from Allah reciting unto them the pure scriptures,
فيها كتب قيمة.
wherein are lasting commandments.
وما تفرق الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءتهم البينة.
And those to whom the book was given did not become divided until after clear evidence had come to them.
وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك دين القيمة.
And they were not commanded but to serve Allah, being sincere to Him in obedience, and being upright, and to observe prayer and pay the zakat, and that is the right religion.
إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها أولئك هم شر البرية.
Verily, those who disbelieve from among the people of the book and the idolaters will be in the fire of hell, abiding therein. They are the worst of creatures.
إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك هم خير البرية.
Verily, those who believe and do righteous deeds, they are the best of creatures.
جزاؤهم عند ربهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتها الأنهار جنات عدن تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه ذلك لمن خشي ربه.
Their reward is with their Lord, gardens of eternity, through which streams flow. They will abide therein forever. Allah is well pleased with them, and they are well pleased with Him. That is for him who fears his Lord.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها
When the earth is shaken with her violent shaking,
وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها
and the earth throws up her burdens,
وقال الإنسان ما لها
and man says, "What is the matter with her?"
يومئذ تحدث أخبارها
On that day will she tell her news,
بأن ربك أوحى لها
for thy Lord will have commanded her.
يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم
On that day will men issue forth in scattered groups, that they may be shown the results of their works.
فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره
Then whoso does an atom's weight of good will see it.
ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره
And whoso does an atom's weight of evil will also see it.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
والعاديات ضبحا
By the snorting chargers,
فالموريات قدحا
which strike sparks of fire with their hoofs,
فالمغيرات صبحا
making raids at dawn,
فأثرن به نقعا
and raising clouds of dust thereby,
فوسطن به جمعا
and thus penetrate into the center of the enemy ranks.
إن الإنسان لربه لكنود
Surely man is ungrateful to his Lord,
وإنه على ذلك لشهيد
and he surely bears witness to it by his conduct,
وإنه لحب الخير لشديد
and surely he is passionate in his love for wealth.
أفلا يعلم إذا بعثر ما في القبور
Does not such a one know that when those in the graves are raised,
وحصل ما في الصدور
and that which is hidden in the breasts is brought forth,
إن ربهم بهم يومئذ لخبير
Surely their Lord will, on that day, be fully aware of them.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
القارعة.
The Great Calamity.
ما القارعة.
What is the Great Calamity?
وما أدراك ما القارعة.
And what should make thee know what the Great Calamity is?
يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث.
The day when men will be like scattered moths,
وتكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش.
and the mountains will be like carded wool.
فأما من ثقلت موازينه
Then as for him whose scales are heavy,
فهو في عيشة راضية.
he will have a pleasant life.
وأما من خفت موازينه
But as for him whose scales are light,
فأمه هاوية.
hell will be a nursing mother to him.
وما أدراك ما هي.
And what should make thee know what that is?
نار حامية.
It is a blazing fire.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
ألهاكم التكاثر.
Mutual rivalry in seeking increase in worldly possessions diverts you from God,
حتى زرتم المقابر.
till you reach the graves.
كلا سوف تعلمون.
Nay, you will soon come to know the truth.
ثم كلا سوف تعلمون.
Nay, again, you will soon come to know.
كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين.
Nay, if you only knew with certain knowledge,
لترون الجحيم.
you will surely see hell in this very life.
ثم لترونها عين اليقين.
Aye, you will surely see it with the eye of certainty hereafter.
ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم.
Then on that day you shall surely be called to account for the favors bestowed upon you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
والعصر
by the time
إن الإنسان لفي خسر
surely man is ever in a state of loss,
إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.
except those who believe and do righteous deeds, and exhort one another to preach truth, and exhort one another to be steadfast.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
ويل لكل همزة لمزة.
Woe to every backbiter, slanderer,
الذي جمع مالا وعدده.
who amasses wealth and counts it over and over,
يحسب أن ماله أخلده.
he thinks that his wealth will make him immortal.
كلا لينبذن في الحطمة.
Nay, he shall surely be cast into the crushing torment.
وما أدراك ما الحطمة.
And what should make thee know what the crushing torment is?
نار الله الموقدة.
It is Allah's kindled fire,
التي تطلع على الأفئدة.
which rises over the hearts.
إنها عليهم مؤصدة.
It will be closed in on them,
في عمد ممددة.
in outstretched columns.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل.
Knowest thou not how the Lord dealt with the owners of the elephant?
ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل.
Did he not cause their design to miscarry?
وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل.
And he sent against them swarms of birds,
ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل.
which ate their dead bodies, striking them against stones of clay.
فجعلهم كعصف مأكول.
And thus made them like broken straw, eaten up.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
لإيلاف قريش
Thy Lord destroyed the owners of the elephant in order to attach the hearts of the Quraysh.
إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف
To make them attached to their journeys in winter and summer.
فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت
So they would worship the Lord of this house,
الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف
who has fed them against hunger and has given them security against fear.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين
Hast thou seen him who denies the judgment?
فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم
That is he who drives away the orphan,
ولا يحض على طعام المسكين
and urges not the feeding of the poor.
فويل للمصلين
So woe to those who pray,
الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون
but are unmindful of their prayer,
الذين هم يراءون
they like only to be seen of men,
ويمنعون الماعون
and withhold legal alms.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
إنا أعطيناك الكوثر
Surely we have bestowed upon thee abundance of good.
فصل لربك وانحر
So pray to thy Lord and offer sacrifice.
إن شانئك هو الأبتر.
Surely it is thy enemy who shall be without issue.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
قل يا أيها الكافرون
Say, O ye disbelievers,
لا أعبد ما تعبدون
I worship not as you worship,
ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد
nor do you worship as I worship.
ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم
Nor do I worship those that you worship.
ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد
Nor do you worship him whom I worship.
لكم دينكم ولي دين.
For you your religion, and for me my religion.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح
When the help of Allah comes and the victory,
ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا.
and thou seest men entering the religion of Allah in troops.
فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا.
Glorify thy Lord with his praise, and seek his forgiveness. Surely he is oft returning with mercy.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب.
Perish the two hands of Abu Lahab, and perish he.
ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب.
His wealth and what he has earned shall avail him naught.
سيصلى نارا ذات لهب.
Soon shall he be burning in a flaming fire,
وامرأته حمالة الحطب.
and his wife, too, bearer of slander.
في جيدها حبل من مسد.
Round her neck shall be a halter of twisted palm fire.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
قل هو الله أحد.
Say, He is Allah, the One.
الله الصمد.
Allah, the independent and besought of all.
لم يلد ولم يولد.
He begets not, nor is he begotten.
ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
And there is none like unto him.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
قل أعوذ برب الفلق.
Say, I seek refuge in the Lord of the Dawn,
من شر ما خلق.
from the evil of that which He has created,
ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب.
and from the evil of darkness when it overspreads,
ومن شر النفاثات في العقد.
and from the evil of those who blow upon the knots of mutual relationships to undo them,
ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد.
and from the evil of the envier when he envies.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
قل أعوذ برب الناس.
Say, I seek refuge in the Lord of mankind,
ملك الناس.
the King of mankind,
إله الناس.
the God of mankind,
من شر الوسواس الخناس.
from the evil whisperings of the sneaking whisperer,
الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس.
who whispers into the hearts of men
من الجنة والناس.
from among jinn and men.